Hello again. Hey, it's me. Yeah, I just want to kind of go over here some of these other amendments. Seventh Amendment says the common law where the value of conservation not exceed $20, the right of a trial by jury shall be preserved, and not for a fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined by any court of the United States, then according to the rules of the common law. What does that mean? It means good. If you have the right to be tried by your peers. 12 people that come in, sit in a jury, and that's how you get tried. It also is, it's not written, but that's basically where they get their "you're innocent until proven guilty" comes from. I know that's a lot of people don't know the Bill of Rights. I think we need to start studying them some. I might not have them all exact. I might not be perfect on them. If not, get hold of me, leave me a comment, whatever. Then we'll go back and revisit them. This involves interpretation of them. So, excuse me. That's what. If you read the Seventh Amendment, it says you'll be tried by your peers, jury of your peers. Okay. In some court cases, a judge decides. It depends on, but my understanding of the law, I'm no lawyer by any means. I work for a living. And if you go to trials, some of them, a lot of civil cases are done with just a judge. I think Billy Joe over there owes me $15 because he ran over my shovel and broke it. Well, instead of having a big blowed up trial, they go in and the judge decide. Before you do that, you have to give them permission to do it. Both of you have to agree, yeah, we'll let the judge decide. If not, they would have to get 12 people in there, set up a jury, have a court, and go through all the rigmarole and have a trial. A lot of people do this to jam up the courts. If you go back to Obama's people and the people that he studied and worshipped when he was in college and stuff, Lewinsky and some of them, that's what they said to do. Jam up the courts, bring frivolous lawsuits up, jam up the courts, that slows the whole system down. Another thing he said, protests, just a way of slowing things down. Over in Europe, most countries has a frivolous lawsuit law, where it says if I go over here and sue Billy Joe because his pickup's pink, and I get it into a court and take us all the way through, and I demand 12 jurors, and I lose the case, they have the right to look back and say, well, that was just frivolous, that was a stupid lawsuit, and I have to pick up his lawyer fees plus court costs. It takes away a lot of that. We don't have it here in America. Myself, I think we do. We need it. It's due, way overdue. Okay. 8. Excessive bail shall not be required or excessive fines imposed or cruel or unusual punishment inflicted. What does that mean? That means if I go over here and the sheriff picks me up for jaywalking, I go to court over it, the judge, he don't like me or don't like my political views or whatever, he can't throw me in a slammer and say, you got $10 million worth of bail before you can get out. That's kind of what it means. Or if I for jaywalking, he fines me $1 million. He can't do that. Okay, no cruel or unusual punishment. Basically, they can't chain me out to a tree out by the courthouse in the middle of winter and let me sit there. Also, if I've been there being questioned, the cops can't beat up on me. It's pretty straightforward. Number 9, basically all it says is just because it's not in the Bill of Rights doesn't mean it's not a law. If it's not in the Bill of Rights, it don't mean that it's not a right. If I wanted to wear pink fluffy slippers to Walmart 9 o'clock in the morning, I have the right to, but it's not in the Bill of Rights. Also, it says, if I go to Walmart, and Walmart has a policy that they don't let nobody come in here with little pink fluffy slippers on, then I can't go in there. And that's basically all it means. It's just because the laws or the rights is not here, don't mean that they ain't out there. Alright? Pretty simple one. The 10th Amendment, man, this is one that Rick Perry running for president. He's a big 10th Amendment guy. I think everybody should be. What this basically says is if the Constitution of the federal government doesn't control it, then the states can. It says that the lawmakers can't come in and impose laws on the states. Alright? Catch that? Okay, this is one that gives me heartburn over the First Amendment. The federal government tells me I can't have my kids praying in school. My way of thinking, the federal government cannot do that. And why do I say that? Because I don't think the federal government and the courts has a right to tell anything about religion. Everybody has that just backwards. They say you can't have prayers in school because of the First Amendment. You remember? Separation of church and state. Church and state ain't in the damn Constitution. It ain't there. Go look it up. Nowhere it said anything about it. Okay. If the federal government can't impose laws on a state that's not in the Constitution, how can they oppose this? I mean, I don't get it. The right for prayer, and what they bounced off on is it went to court, and the Supreme Court made a decision, yeah, federal government can keep you from doing that. Well, we need to go back to court and relook at that. Back in the days when the government was first started and first getting going on, and America was first starting to grow, before you become a state, you had to teach knowledge, morality, and religion in your public school. Become a state. Why has it changed? Progressive movement, that's why it's changed. The progressive people, they started back in the 1880s, when it really started catching hold. If you went back and looked at your history and what was going over in Europe down there, man, socialism was just, man, that was it. Communist, man, that was a cat's meow. A true communist country would have no need of money because the government supplies you with everything. The government runs and they make sure you have everything. Everybody has money for everything. Everybody has a house. Everybody has a car. Everything's the same. If you're a doctor or if you're a ditch digger in a true communist country, you live in the same house, you drive the same car, you get the same food. You want to go watch a movie, it's free because, you know, that's a true communist country. Everybody's like, well, Russia was communist. Russia wasn't a true communist country. Alright? You had people in power, you had rich people, and you had poor people. In a true socialist communist country, you wouldn't have rich and poor. You just have a whole bunch of socialists. Alright? And so I want people, you know, it's the Second Amendment, it's the same way. They keep trying to infringe on our rights to have guns. You know, the states have the right to say we have to have a permit to buy a weapon. The county has a right to say if you're going to store a handgun in your house, you have to store it in a way where it's safe for kids. That's not infringing on your rights. Okay? Well, they start infringing on your rights and saying you can't buy a weapon because you have long hair, short hair, good-looking wife, ugly wife, whatever. Okay? We really need to get into it when you get, and the 10th Amendment is something that I think everybody's forgotten about. The 9th Amendment, it's something that I don't think people understand. But the 10th Amendment is a very crucial one. We have to get in there. We're going to have to get people that's in there. We're going to have to get people on a local level and a state level to stand up to the federal government and say, you're wrong. You can't tell us how to run our schools. The biggest mistake we made was let them put up the Department of Education, because this is how the federal government works. We're going to say you can't do something, and then we're going to hold a little carrot here and say, look, you do what we say, you get the carrot. If you don't do what we say, then we're going to pour funds. And that's the mess we're in now. So many projects and stuff in the state level is funded by federal level money to control the state. The state does the same thing to your counties, breaks it on down. You need to get rid of all that. Why do you think we're in such trouble with our finances on a federal level? It's because of all your social programs. Okay? If you didn't have 47% of the people living off the 53% of the people, it'd be a lot better country. That's where you got these protesters up there protesting Wall Street, and they're going over and shutting down ports and stuff. These people are ignorant. They're just plumb ignorant. And that's not saying they're stupid, but there's a little difference there. Okay? Why does shutting down a port hurt Wall Street? It don't. It hurts the people trying to make a living. It hurts the people trying to get the stuff off the boat to buy. Okay? If these what they call 99%ers or whatever they're going to call themselves, if they really wanted to do something, they'd be stationed at the state capitol and they'd be stationed in Washington, D.C. If they're wanting to hold up things, they'd be holding up the highways and stuff to keep people from Washington, D.C. to get to work in the morning. I don't know, maybe if the Senate and Congress and them all didn't go to work for a week, we might be richer. I don't know. But we need to really look at our Bill of Rights. We need to teach them to our kids. We need to understand them. And we need to ask why and why not. Now, if you guys want to live in a social society, I guess I can't stop you. I don't guess nobody can. But just remember one old boy said about socialism, eventually you run out of people to pay for it. And with that, I guess I want to head out of here and do whatever I do. You guys